Welcome to Drinkin Bros, presented by GhostBed.com. If you feel like some low-T zombie shuffling your way through life, heading straight to the grave, you're bumming everybody out, grab a Cardomax energy intensifier and wake up. Owned and operated by former Navy SEAL Sean Matson, Cardomax's energy intensifier will help you power through workouts and dead afternoons with vitamins B3, B6, B12, caffeine, and BCAAs. Use the promo code DB to get 30% off your next 4 orders at Cardomax.com. It's Cardomax.com, helping you achieve your max. Welcome to Drinkin Bros, kids. From time to time, we are tagged on Facebook with guest requests. Sometimes it's one of our own, D'Anthony. Usually it's celebrities. Sometimes it's one of our own. And we're like, all right, great. What's the story behind this? Today's is John Havard. He's in Drinkin Bros Dads, which is another private group on Facebook. I know D'Anthony and I always say this all the time on the show with Drinkin Bros. There's about 800 subgroups that you can join, and they're all private. There's 10,000 members in this one. And with John and his situation, he was tired of watching Blippi with his kids, tired that kids only had a couple options and wanted something cool. Therefore, he created his own character named Cowboy Jack. And it's a new kids show. It's on YouTube. Everybody tagged us and they said, you got to get this guy on the show and help blow it up because this is one of our own. John, welcome to the show, buddy. How are you?
Great. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Look at you. You're in the Cowboy Jack here.
I can't be Cowboy Jack without the hat, brother.
This is kind of a crazy story. I mean, look, you have a real job in real life. You're doing this on the side. When we were tagged in all this stuff, Dan and I looked at it. The production quality is amazing. Your thumbnails are amazing. You're doing everything correctly. What made you get into it, and how did you figure out how to do it?
I mean, it was kind of a big mix of dumb luck, really. But like you said, my son was super hooked on Blippi, and I mean, Blippi is educational. He's not the worst guy in the world or anything. I don't hate him. My son has learned a lot from him, but he does these goofy voices nonstop, right? I mean, everything he says.
I hate that bullshit.
He started running around the house giggling like Blippi. I was just like, man, this ain't right. And so, I mean, we searched and searched, and the only other alternative we could find was like, there's a bunch of shows where there's 2 kids or 3 kids that are just playing on air with, tons of toys that they have. Super expensive stuff in these crazy mansions. And that's not real life either. That's not really what I wanted my son watching. And I told my wife, I said, hey, let's grab a camera. Let's just go down to the pond in the neighborhood. And, I'm a big goofball. I know he'll like it because it's me. Let's just give it a shot. And so we shot the first one and showed it to my son. Of course, he loved it. He was laughing his tail off at me. And we showed it to some friends' kids, and they all loved it. And after that, it just kind of snowballed.
Yeah. And for me, I've got kids, obviously. So when they were tagging us, I flipped it on in the living room, and I told my son, I said, what do you think of this? And he goes, it's like a cooler version of Blippi. I started dead serious. I started dying laughing. And I go, he's going to be on Daddy's show next week, and we're going to chat with him. I guess from a production standpoint, what I'd like to ask first is like, how did you learn how to edit and do all of this? Because, dude, this is not typical for like normal people just to pick up a camera, be in character, have it shot well, have it look nice, and edited properly. Typically, you've got to go in and hire a service to do something like that. Is that what you did, or did you do it on your own?
No, I mean, we looked into trying to figure out how to hire somebody to do it, but the cost, I mean, we're shoestring budget on this thing. So, we literally figured out Adobe Premiere Pro and a couple of other programs and figured it out ourselves. We actually learned how to edit by watching YouTube videos.
Oh boy, yeah. No, that's how most people learn these days. I've got one challenge to what you're saying right now. You said shoestring budget. What do cowboys know about shoestrings?
Cowboy Jack shouldn't be wearing any shoestrings.
Yeah, let me see what's on your feet right now. He's probably wearing Crocs right now.
Let's see it. What do you got? Put him up in the camera.
Are you wearing Crocs? If you're wearing Crocs, then I'll watch the show.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right. That'll work.
Bare feet.
That'll work.
Bare feet and cowboy boots are the only two acceptable footwear.
I'm a cowboy from the waist down right now. I got a trip.
Look, bare feet will work, you know, as long as you weren't wearing Crocs.
I don't know what cowboy from the waist down even means.
Well,
that sounded weird. Okay, yeah. I don't have shoes on right now.
This is a children's show, Jack.
It's a children's show, Cowboy Jack, okay?
I'm gonna watch it. My bad.
No, but I'm looking at you got a video here, types of fish for kids. Obviously, this isn't your house. You don't have 5,000 aquariums. This is a store, probably locally. How do you convince them, hey, I'm a children's character from YouTube, and I'd like to shoot inside your store?
I wish I could take credit for that, but really it's my wife. When we decided we wanted to make this like field trip based where we're going to different places all the time, she picked up the phone and started hunting down different places. And she said, we need to do something on fish. And there's that really cool, what is it? It's, I can't even think of the name of it.
Fish Gallery, is that the name of it?
Fish Gallery Houston. And
aquarium?
Fish Gallery in the Woodlands. And she called them up. And that one in particular, I mean, it took all of 2 seconds to convince them. They were like, absolutely, we love kids. Come on in. And we actually shot it like the next day was Saturday, and we went in and did it. But sometimes she has to harp on these places for months and months, and she's good at it, man. She's a bulldog. You set her out on a mission to get approval to go somewhere, and usually she's successful.
Yeah, it's amazing because, you know, Dan and I have shot pretty much everywhere you can shoot in the nation here, I feel like, at this point, for live shows and all that other stuff. And a lot of times it's met with suspicion. So typically we have to go through the private channels on Facebook, rather, and hit people up and be like, hey, is there any Drinkin Bros that own bars out there that will let us do whatever we want? We're always respectful and everything else. But when you start to go to people's businesses like an aquarium or things like that,
yeah,
everybody's got questions because it's like, all right, great. I don't want some asshole coming in here poisoning all the fish and then leaving, you know?
Or even worse, showing like an OSHA violation or something like that. So,
yeah, shit, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I'm based on the day job that I have, I'm real mindful of that.
What do you do in real life?
I sell industrial electric construction.
I was going to say you poison fish, but yeah.
Yeah, that's another side of the
gig.
What does that entail exactly?
I work for a company that we sell electrical heat tracing. So like in a chemical plant, when you're moving product from point A to point B, you want to make sure it stays the same temperature throughout. And so we have products that go along that pipe and do that for you. Gotcha.
And where are you located in real life?
I live in Spring, Texas, about 35 miles north of Houston.
Yeah, we know Spring. It's been on the news a lot lately. Home of Simone Biles.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is there a big gymnastics training camp there?
It's about 2.5 or 1 to 2 miles away from my house. It's called World Champions Center, and it's a ginormous gym right here.
You know what you should do is you develop a character that's a gymnastics super fan, and just show up there like the dude. Show up dressed like the dude from Dodgeball, the one that wore the protective glasses and all this shit. What's his name?
Yeah.
Steven something or some shit.
Yeah.
He was in that vampire TV show too. What was it called?
Stephen Root. He's in everything.
Stephen Root.
Space.
Yeah, Office Space. He played the weirdo. Yeah, so dress like that dude and to show up and cheer for nothing. They can't stop you. It's like those places are there. There's the one where they do the practice and qualifying for the U.S. Olympics figure skating, I think is in Minneapolis or some shit or something like that. It's somewhere in Minnesota.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
I've been there before, and they just they have people in and out training all the time, but it's mostly anybody can train there that gets invited, and it's mostly only people who might qualify for the Olympics to get invited. But you just go there anytime you want and watch that shit.
Yeah.
So, you know, all I'm saying is show up in your cowboy shit.
Yeah.
With a USA fucking shirt on. With fuck yeah, man.
Yeah.
And this whomever is the #1 contender against USA in gymnastics that year, you go right after them. It's probably going to be Russia, right?
Yeah, it's always Russia. Russia beat us in the team competition.
So here's what we should do. We should get somebody to dress up like Dolph Lundgren. And then we'll get like Justin Governal to dress up like Rocky. Yeah. And to show up and beat the shit out of the Dolph Lundgren character.
Right in the middle of the gymnastics. Yeah, I think they would love it.
It reminds me of me and my buddy this time. Went to a Chinese restaurant, which is important because not Japanese. And one of us dressed like Godzilla, the other like a ninja, and we fought right there in the middle of the place. And a lot of confusion. No one stopped to ask whether or not we knew that neither one of those characters were Chinese.
Sure.
But whatever, man.
Who won, by the way?
We both won.
Okay.
Because we get to live with that memory.
Yeah, you do.
Nobody I don't think, how do you declare a winner in that fight?
Well,
Nobody got arrested.
One would say Godzilla. I mean, just off the top of it.
I mean, if it was a real fight, unless it was like the Power Rangers or some shit, there's no way a regular ninja is going to, come on.
Yeah, look, I agree. Who would win in a fight, you versus Blippi?
I don't know. I mean, he may be a little bit faster and lighter on his feet than I am, but I think I could take him.
One would hope so. One would hope you could take Blippi. But I know what you're talking about when you were saying a bunch of kids and mansions and all that shit. That's what my kids watch. Travancore, that's the name of it. And they got the mini Jake Paul kid, Titus.
Yeah. But I like how you emphasize talking to the kids like they're fucking human beings.
Yeah.
And not jangling keys and like making weird noises. That shit drives me crazy.
Same.
I mean, I don't want to dumb myself. Like I don't want them to feel like I'm dumbing myself down to talk to them or talk to them in a goofy voice.
Kids are way smarter than people give them credit for.
Oh yeah.
Kids know they hear and understand everything we say, whether they let us know that or not. And people take that for granted.
Yep. They take it for granted.
Yeah, they do.
Sometimes
they take it
if you're in
for granted as well.
The stone industry.
Yeah, if you're in the construction industry.
Yeah, or landscaping, I guess. They get granted a lot for that.
Yeah.
Bob, can you look up granite?
What you want to buy some?
No, just look it up.
Yeah, just look up the meaning of granite.
Don't interrupt me again either.
Yeah, feel free to be bolder about it. Nailed it. Come on, Bobby 3 sticks. Not having it today. We're kidding about the granite, Bob. You don't.
Please don't look that up. No one needs to know about granite.
I don't know. No one does. No one. What's your dream location to go to? Because I'm looking at most of this stuff. I'm assuming it's local. Do you want to travel around the nation and start going to like bigger places and everything?
Yeah, I mean, it's local right now just because it's easy, but we want to go all over the place. I mean, I've got a couple shoots set up further out in Texas. I mean, Texas is a huge state. Obviously, you guys know that.
Yeah.
There's stuff all over the state. So, if a lot of people have compared us to shows like The Day Tripper or Texas Bucket List, that's kind of what I have envisioned. I want it to be relatable for kids in those small towns and the big cities too.
Yeah, I mean, look, shit, you can go to Marcus's house, Luttrell's. He's got giraffes and all that other stuff out there.
And kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's so many, you're right. With Texas, it's so big. There's so many options. Yeah, I mean, you could really go end to end on this state and probably have 30 episodes, Yeah,
and I mean, like, just you talk about dream locations. I mean, people are being incredible about it. They're offering up really cool facilities. Earlier today, I got a message from somebody who I won't say exactly who he works for, but we may get the opportunity to look at some really neat astronaut training stuff at NASA. So, I mean,
man, that'd be awesome.
Everything about this is blowing me away. I mean,
NASA's always looking for press, though. That's the thing these days. All these private institutions are always looking for some kind of media to cover what they're doing, to get their word out about whatever they're doing. And the news as it is these days, whether it's on TV or in digital, is so focused on bullshit all the time.
Yeah.
Right? That you have to reach out to individual content producers to do anything like that, to spread the word these days, especially people that are local, that are going to spread it to a local audience. I mean, you see it as fortuitous and surprising, but honestly, that's just how things are going these days. We get calls from people all the time about, hey, can you fucking do this or do that?
Yeah.
And I'm more inclined to do that than I am to work with larger companies sometimes.
Yeah, and look, man, I think the more and more you call and the bigger and bigger you get, you're going to find that out of like, oh, man, I could actually go and do this. And I think you'll be shocked, actually. I think you'll be shocked, especially as your channel gets bigger and bigger. Would the dream be to get big enough that it's, you and I were chatting a little bit offline before we got on air, that you are monetized, you just got monetized on YouTube. Would the dream be that this character becomes so big that you no longer have to work a regular job anymore?
That's hard to answer. I mean, I work for a great company. I've been with them for almost 10 years now. I love what I do. But I mean, this is the coolest thing I've done as an adult. So it's hard for me to say.
Do you mind me asking how old you are?
I'm 37.
What about your children?
I have a 3.5-year-old son and a 10-month-old daughter.
Okay,
wow.
great. So they're just getting started. So you're going to be able to do this for a while. The other thing the reason I asked your age about this is people always ask whether or not they're too old to switch professions or do something else that you love. You're 37 years old and just started a YouTube channel playing a children's character. Like, clearly you're not. You can do it. It probably takes every last second of time after you get off your real job to pour into this one, I would imagine.
Absolutely. It's a full-time hobby for sure. The shooting of it is great. That's like our getaway on Saturdays. Me and the wife will get a babysitter and go do it. But the editing, she's the main editor, if you will. And sometimes I feel bad because I'm snoring and she's up at 2 or 3 in the morning trying to get her episode out.
Yeah, the editing is the worst part of all this stuff. Being on camera and doing this is easy. It's the editing behind the scenes that no one sees that is really, really time consuming and all that stuff. Did you guys figure out like music rights and everything else along the way?
Yeah, I mean, that's a hot topic for us because really I've used 2 songs and most of the time it's only been 1 song, and it works really well with the way I flow and everything. But parents watching that over and over again, it gets a little bit irritating. So we're looking for new music, but the music that we do use is licensed to us.
Gotcha. Can I recommend Audio Socket to you?
I haven't heard of that.
Great. Yeah, it's one of those things as a filmmaker when you can't afford Garth Brooks in a movie. You'll be like, all right, great. What sounds like Garth Brooks? Can I go here? Audiosocket.com is really good. And then they charge you you can buy it for, $2 and then lease a track up to like $15-20 and that'll get you 500,000 views and all that other stuff. So there is step up licenses and it's pretty cheap and there's an endless catalog on there. So I would highly recommend that. And then if YouTube flags you, just say, hey, I have the license for it, and then they'll take it off for you just in case. Or, when you get rich enough, you can buy them out individually, and those are only like $300 or $400 a piece. Because there's a ton of musicians out there who have recorded songs, but they don't have labels or whatever else, so they just license them through Audio Socket. And I mean, there's some really, really great songs on there. It would shock you.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check it out because I'm desperately hunting some new sounds, some new music.
Yeah, and I know on the back end of this, as far as editing goes, YouTube offers their own. Have you checked out their catalog as well?
Yeah, I've dug through it for hours and hours, and it's never been exactly what we were looking for.
Yeah, it's kind of mid, right?
Yeah, I mean, I use some of their sound effects, like for when we have a word pop on the screen, I'll use like some of their bubble in sounds and things like that. But as far as an actual audio track, hadn't found one to my liking.
You should
yet.
just use K-pop for everything.
Yeah.
They don't have any licenses, anything.
I don't think
they're allowed to own things.
No. Not if they're from
North
Korea.
K-pop.
Yeah, North K-pop. You don't hear much about North K-pop.
People don't know a lot about North K-pop.
No, it's all about smashing rocks. And they never tell you that.
And eating the rocks afterwards because there's no food. Look, I didn't
Cowboy Jack had to put his head down on that one.
I didn't create the circumstances under which half of North Korea is starving. I'm just commenting on the fact that it exists.
Yeah.
I get a lot.
That was a segue from your granite conversation, right?
Don't fucking do that. Don't do callbacks on my behalf. Especially when they're puns. I'll burn this goddamn building down.
Cowboy Jack, you knew what you were getting into coming on here.
Oh yeah. It was. I'm mentally prepared for this.
So you before you started all this, you've been watching Drinkin Bros for a while, listening to
it? When I can't. I mean, so I used to listen a lot and put it on and drive because I would spend a lot of time in the car for work. Now it's a little harder with the kids at home and stuff and being at home all the time. Yeah,
you can't blast that through the airwaves as we talk about two dudes touching dicks.
No, you need headphones with transparent mode, right? So you can still hear outside.
Oh yeah, is that a thing?
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah, it works on fucking Raycons.
I didn't know that.
They have the noise suppression one, and then this is a regular one where you can still hear.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't
It's
know.
just a little microphone on the outside of the...
I don't know much about technology. I just pop them in and then listen.
It came
to
from
shit.
military technology. Peltor did it first. You ever seen those green shooting headphones that have the little microphone looking thing?
Yeah,
right
yeah,
here?
yeah.
That's what it's for.
Okay. Look at that.
So you can still hear, but it has a what do you call it? A noise gate.
Okay.
So decibels above a certain level don't register, or it just sounds like a thump.
Hey, Cowboy Jack, now we've become an educational channel. So you're welcome.
We've always been an educational channel.
Yeah, I feel that way too. YouTube feels the opposite.
Pegging
though.
Explained was episode 1.
And that was very educational. A lot of people didn't know what pegging was.
And then there was that episode and the next year where it was like the fetish episode where that woman that used to peg special forces dudes came on.
Yep.
That was like a year later after that, right? Like in April of 2017 or some shit.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember exactly what the date was. It was somewhere around
She went
there.
into a whole fucking thing about it.
So you're not doing too much pegging discussions on the show, I'd imagine.
I haven't found a way or a need to work that into the show really.
Well, how do you, and all seriousness, how do you decide? I guess coming out of the gate, you can pretty much go down a list of the things. I'm going to cover these things. Mm-hmm. But at what point do you transition into something that's a little more topical? And also piggybacking on that, how do you decide what's topical for fucking 3 to 10-year-olds? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's going to be something on TikTok probably, or something on a video game, or something on YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, when we first got started, we sat down and we made like a list.
Right.
I mean, we made a list of like 400 ideas that we had, and we're shuffling through those, and there's ones that have to wait for a little bit and other stuff.
Right.
But we're starting to mix in some other things, like some life lessons ones. Like in a couple of weeks, we've got one coming out that's table manners for kids that we shot at a restaurant, showing them like etiquette for eating at a restaurant, how to act, so that you're not annoying other people in the restaurant, and also how to properly use your fork and knife and all that good stuff. And then we're going to go to a dentist's office and show that that's not scary. We're going to get a haircut, show that that's not scary.
I did one of those at a dentist's office one time, but I was just on the laughing gas the whole time.
Yeah. You were out.
I don't know if that for a child, that probably would be scary. He put a mask on and all of a sudden lost his mind.
Yeah. He's gone.
Joke's on you, kid. Lost my mind way before that.
Yeah, he's absolutely gone.
Yeah.
My dentist, because I'm from Georgia, so my dentist was like in a house. It was like a little house, right?
It's like a single. It's not a house, but it looks. It's like a single. It looks like a single family home. Actually,
Yes.
There's a lot of like therapists, dentists,
Yep.
anybody that doesn't work in a bigger complex has all over the South. I don't know why. That's weird.
Yeah.
Or maybe actually a lot of them are those. They're in neighborhoods that used to be, so they're former row housing and mills and shit like that. It just got converted. And the same thing in like Milwaukee, Pittsburgh, et cetera, where they used to be mill houses for steel mills, and now they're at bars or whatever.
Yeah.
That is pretty common. I never really thought about that. That's weird though.
It is, and when I went in, because my first exposure to it, like with laughing gas and all that stuff, right? You do it, and you're like, oh my god, as a kid, you feel a little crazy. And then I had to go back and get braces or some work done or whatever it was. And they were like, hey, we have to push the appointment. Like, we can't do this. It turned out the dentist, his teenage kid, had gone in there and blasted through all the nitrous tanks. And they found him blacked out on the floor, pants undone, and all these empty tanks were laying all over the place. And they just send the kid to fucking rehab. Not that you're going to do that in your show, obviously.
Imagine having to go to rehab for fucking laughing gas.
Well, turns out it was doing a lot more than that.
For sure, yeah.
All of the tanks were empty, and he went to every single room, and there was like 4 or 5 dentist stations inside this house, and just it blasted through the nitrous. Jealous? Yeah, I am. Sounds like a blast. Those are 75-pound tanks, my man. You could really have a good time. With a lot of balloons in there, but you got to wake up and get the fuck out of there and then lie about it the next day. He did not, and that is on him. But back to your thing about getting haircuts and all that stuff. I have a 2-year-old right now, and he's still afraid to get his haircut. Like that's a real thing that is genuine for parents. And you're like, all right, what do? I have to sit him on my lap and then get my haircut at the same time as he does, in order for him to sit still and not, get stabbed in the eye with some scissors.
I do the exact same thing with my son. Now he's 3.5 now, so he'll sit in his own chair, but it's still, daddy's real close. And so, I mean, we're just pulling instances from our own parenting life and saying, you know, he gets scared at the dentist. He gets scared getting a haircut. Let's make that fun. Try to take that fear out of him.
Yeah, that's great. And again, I'm looking at, your videos are on in the background here. All the production value and everything else is great. What kind of cameras do you shoot on?
I'm going to blow your mind. The entire thing is shot on a $300 GoPro.
Really?
Yes,
I mean,
sir.
the quality is great on this.
Yeah, it's the GoPro Hero 8, and it's got I don't know, it works really, really well for us.
Yeah, look, congratulations, man. It looks awesome. I mean, this is a very nice 4K here.
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
The hardest part about it has been audio. That's still a challenge today.
Oh, look, audio is always a bitch. Are you laved up?
Yeah, I am now. But for a while we were using a shotgun mic, and anytime I turn my head, you lose me. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lavs are a little bit of an improvement. A lav that costs $600 to $1,000 is a better improvement.
Yeah.
Right. But
yeah.
I mean, that's how it is. Even with us, like now people walk into the studio and they're like, wow, this is a real studio. I'm like, yeah, but it wasn't always like this, dude. I mean,
yeah. And we're always adding stuff to it,
Yeah.
and it's not perfect.
And even now when we're on the road, we'll throw a makeshift kit together and just fucking,
yeah.
you learn tricks, I guess.
Yeah.
Over time. But it's, for you, the shooting on location stuff makes it a lot more complicated. If you're just in an isolated area and you can control the light and the sound, that makes things easier. If you're out at a fucking restaurant, for example, you're using a shotgun mic at a restaurant, you're picking up everything in that fucking room.
Yeah, we learned that the hard way really, really quick. Like we did an episode, our second episode was at the Children's Museum in the Woodlands, and they invited us to come in and do it. And we did that for them. And it's my favorite episode still. It's such a cool place for kids. My audio is garbage. I can't even watch it. Now that I've got the lav mic and I know how good it could have been, I can't watch that thing anymore.
It's crazy, right? Yeah. It's the tiniest things that'll ruin it for you, where you're just like, I can't go back and watch that.
I know. And really, I can only watch the episodes once after they're done, because we're so sick of looking at them after we've edited them.
Yeah, so I'm looking at the length here. Are most of your videos going to stay right around that half-hour mark, you think?
Yeah, and that's all by accident. I mean, we try to shoot. We tell people when we're coming in, we're going to shoot for between an hour and a half. And after editing, it'll probably be about this long. And it's just weird that all of them have ended up being right around between 20 and 30 minutes.
It's usually about a third of what you shoot ends up on the final edit, to be honest.
Yeah. Most of these movies and stuff that we do, the rough cuts, typically that first string out comes in around 3 hours.
Yeah.
It's the worst goddamn thing to watch in the world.
And if it's one of those loquacious directors, you're going to see 4-hour cuts.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
dude.
The Irishman, for example, that was cut down.
Yeah.
But then he was just like, then it's Scorsese's like, I'm not cutting anything else. You guys go fuck yourself. And it's a 3-hour-long movie. It would have been, that movie at an hour 45 would have been way better.
Oh,
frankly.
yeah. I don't have one movie that's over 90 minutes comedy wise, because
You can't do an over 90-minute comedy movie.
Judd Apatow, tell that to Judd Apatow. All of his are 2 hours apiece. And it's like, hey, dude, you could have cut out a half hour of that. No matter how funny you are, about 90 minutes is all you can get.
Comedy's just formulaic. The rule of threes applies more in comedy than any other art form, I think, when it comes to writing. And like, what are you going to have, a 3-part movie? I guess 4 Rooms, Tarantino did it. But that's not like a traditional.
It's not a traditional comedy.
Like there's no. Well, first of all, it's 4 different stories compiled into one. But also, there's no MacGuffin, right?
Yeah.
There's nobody's after anything necessarily in that shit. I don't know.
But with yours, look, you can go as long as you want.
Or short. I mean, it doesn't matter.
No, it's just shocking that you do go this long, because most videos aren't this long. My kids, for example, they live on YouTube. I mean, I think everybody's kids now do. Dude Perfect. They have one kind of podcasty type show that goes around 30 minutes, but most of their videos are 10 to 12 minutes. I know for monetization, they want it to be over 11, so you can watch it, and it's according to watch time and everything else. And I just rolled through a VRBO, so you should see some more money coming through. There was a VRBO ad that I just let play here. Because I'm going through the one when you're on the train right now. And the times, they get a little shorter and everything else, especially with these kids' videos. Like I've noticed, like the Trav and Core stuff, They try to keep it right around 15 minutes or something like that. I enjoy these longer form content videos like you're doing, but nobody really does them like that.
Yeah, I mean, so the big guy, he makes a lot of longer videos, and I'm not trying to mimic that out of him. It's just, so like we look at it this way, like, it takes a village to raise kids, right? And all of our kids are living much more digital lives than when you and I were growing up. And so sometimes everybody doesn't have a big village of helpers. They don't have grandparents close or friends that can come watch their kids and stuff. And if they can set their kids in front of Cowboy Jack for 30 minutes and get the laundry done and not have to feel guilty about it,
yep.
I'm all. Because that's what we use it for.
Yeah, dude. Same. And like we started eventually just trying to find longer shows. We had to go to Netflix. Like Gabby Dollhouse, all that. Like, dude, hey, Gabby, welcome to the Dollhouse. Like, you name it, I know all of those things. Thomas the Train, everything else. And as they get a little bit older, my older son's into like more scripted stuff. Kind of like a Nickelodeon type vibe. But nah, man, everything you're doing is correct and it's awesome and it's great to see, man. To take the initiative and actually go out and do this shit, no one realizes how hard it is, man. And it's awesome. I want to chat a little bit more about your life and career and everything else in a second. You've listened to the show. Obviously, we got sponsors that pay for this shit wagon to be on the air. Ghostbed.com/Drinkin Bros is up first. 40% off flash sale going on right now. Cowboy Jack, do you got a ghost bed?
I don't have one.
You don't have a ghost bed? You got to get one. If you're in the market for a new mattress, man, take advantage of this. I don't know how they're making money off this shit, to be real with you. 40% off seems a little extreme because they have like a 0 down, 0 payment option for 36 months. And that deal can be coupled with that, and it's like $30 a month, $35 a month. So, look, take them to the cleaners. I don't give a shit.
It's a Cowboys budget.
Yeah, it is. Goddamn right, it's a Cowboys budget. We need to get some boots for this man. You don't have to take your boots off in this bed if you get a mattress protector. They got everything there: sheets, pillows, adjustable bases, mattress protectors, you name it. Go to ghostbed.com/Drinkin Bros today. And then obviously the promo code Drinkin Bros works for 30% off everything in the entire store now. And you can take advantage of that. And that still can be bundled in with that 0 down, 0 interest if you have decent credit program. Next up, we got Killcliff.com. Killcliff, you're going to need some of that for the road, my man. With kids, dude, I drink a can of that CBD every single night, dude. That's the only way I can really ease up. One of my kids just ripped off a sticker and then stuck it to a door last night right in front of my face, and my wife took it off and all the paint peeled off. We just got it painted, And I'm like, come on, bro. We went through a flood, all this other shit, and now...
Yeah, maybe you should do a show on why not to do that.
Yeah. Do that. Why you can't draw on walls or take scissors to your own pajamas and or the couches.
Yeah,
that would be a great one.
Where were you in that one?
Yeah, Jack.
How taking care of the stuff that your parents have to buy you.
Yeah. Do one of why you can't color on walls and cut your own hair and cut your own pajamas and all that stuff. That'd be great.
Taking notes.
Yeah, definitely take notes. And again, as a parent, you're going to need some CBD to end the night. Killcliff.com has got their Killcliff Cbd Drinkables, best in the business, 25 milligrams of CBD in every single can. You will not piss hot on a drug test. There's no THC in this. I know we got a lot of military and first responder that listen to the show. That's the only name you can trust. If you do, well, sue them, because they say on the can there's no. We've never had an issue with it. And,
no, you wouldn't. I mean, just the process to harvest CBD is the plant has to have a less of a concentration of THC than would show up on a drug test.
Yeah.
So it is literally impossible.
Yes.
Just for you. That's rudimentary, or I'm sorry, that's kind of reductive, but that's how the science works.
Yeah. And go to killcliff.com, use the promo code Drinkin Bros for 30% off. Not only just their CBD drinks like the Flamin' Joe or the grape and all that other stuff, but you can use it on anything there. 30% off on killcliff.com with the promo code Drinkin Bros. Last but not least, because we were talking about it earlier, mybookie.com, promo code Drinkin Bros will double your deposit up to $1,000. Football is back. Last night was the first game. Did you watch that Cowboys game last night? Are you a Cowboys fan? Or are you a Houston fan?
I'm not a football guy.
What?
I know, it's weird. I'm sorry.
Cowboy Jack. Come on, that's not very cowboy of you.
Baseball is my sport. Sorry.
Okay, well that makes Dan happy at least.
Are you an Astros fan?
Yes.
No. That doesn't really make anybody happy.
Man.
Why don't you put that jersey on and head over to Dodger Stadium and see how that works out for you?
Yeah, do you want me to bang on a trash can so you can get the next question out of me real quick, or no?
I actually have an Astros trash can right back here.
Somebody, did you buy that before or after this whole scandal?
After, of course.
That's really,
Yeah.
That's funny.
I like it. I enjoy it, Jack. I enjoy it, Cowboy Jack. No, but football has started. Cowboys were on last night. They got crushed. Even though it was preseason, they look like dog shit. So, whatever, man.
None of the starters would have played anyways, but Dak wouldn't have played because he's injured again.
Exactly. Is Sean here? Is Sean here today? He's our Cowboys guy.
He's at home nursing his wounds from the Cowboy loss.
Is he really?
He had to stay home for his kid or something, but yeah, he's not up in his bell tower today.
Well, you tell him to bring the fucking kid in the studio next time he's sick, all right? We want to see the kid.
Okay.
Yeah. But he's a Cowboys fan. They got crushed. He texted me early on because I'd already bet this game on MyBookie. And, dude, I knew they were going to lose.
Monaco bet it
easy.
too.
Oh, yeah.
Idiots.
We're all junkies on this.
That's another.
It was an easy one. It was the Cowboys. It was the Cowboys.
That's another level.
Bet against the Cowboys on mybookie.com. Again, promo code Drinkin Bros. Double your deposit. I get the second play of the game was Micah Parsons, that rookie for the Cowboys. Strip fumble. Cowboys get a field goal, and Sean immediately texts me, "I'm the biggest Micah Parsons fan of all time," and I was like, "Well, you're about the only good player out on that field this year, so good luck with that."
Oh no, come on!
I'm kidding.
They have the best wide receiver trio in all of football.
Look,
if they could get them the ball, is another story.
Exactly.
But
if they have a quarterback that they paid $50 gajillion to sit on the sidelines with a leg that was broken in half 9 different times. Dumbest move of all time. You should have just drafted Justin Fields. But again, mybookie.com, promo code Drinkin Bros doubles your deposits. Cowboy Jack.
wait, have there ever been? Is there Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, and Michael Gallup? Can you think of a 3-receiver lineup in all of NFL history that's as talented as that?
Yeah.
Like 3 on one team, because those are 3 number 1 starters.
Yeah. Man, Calvin Ridley,
I'd have to
Julio
think about
Jones,
it.
and
That's 2.
Sanu is really good, man.
Yeah, but he wasn't like a marquee name either.
You can't, I don't think you can have 3 superstars and the team be good enough, though.
I mean, Chris Carter, Randy Moss, and someone in a wheelchair would probably qualify as.
Yeah, those guys were the best.
Chris Carter and Moss for sure.
I had Dante Culpepper that season too.
For 2. That's what I'm saying,
Randy
though.
Moss.
There's been a lot of
I destroyed everybody.
I mean, technically speaking, didn't Jerry Rice and T.O. take the field together for a year in '94?
Yeah.
Before he went to the Raiders. So, I mean, 2, but 3?
Nah, look, I implored the Falcons on this show to get CeeDee Lamb.
That Moss Carter team, because I want to look this up. The third wide receiver was Jake Reed, Willie Jake Reed, who you probably haven't heard of, but he did have 4,000 yard seasons before Moss before Moss got on the team, and I think they just ran out of catches.
Yeah, look, and that's going to happen. When you have so many superstars, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, fucking Michael Gallup just with the introduction of CeeDee Lamb into that lineup. Now, I know they went super downhill after Dak left. They were scoring 32 points a game when he was there. So, but he went down from 1,100 to 840 yards this past season, even though he played 2 more games. So Gallup seems to be the short stick.
Yeah,
I guess. But he's a number on any other team almost. He's a fucking wide receiver 1.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of superstars, Cowboy Jack, is there anybody that you want to have on your show celebrity-wise? Maybe get a football player. You wouldn't know anything about it, but baseball player. Jose Altuve. Obviously, you're going to have to check for a buzzer, but...
Or get him stilts.
He could play a child.
Yeah, he
could play your child. You could teach him how to put trains on tracks and everything.
Every time that
house.
dude hits a home run, it makes me feel bad about myself.
Yeah,
I'm like, this 5'5" dude that weighs like 160 pounds is crushing this ball, and I can't even. I'm in a wheelchair. What am I doing here? Like, I can't even breathe without it hurting right now. God damn it.
Who's your dream guest list?
Man, I would love to have Alex Bregman on. He's a big on my list. Really, any of the current Astros would be fantastic. That's hard to say. I mean, I'd love to work with any celebrity, anybody that would give me on a celebrity level would give Cowboy Jack the time of day, I think kids would absolutely love it, you know.
So do I, man.
But do kids watch baseball? Do they know who those people are?
No, but yeah, and it's the introduction of it and the introduction to baseball and everything else. And as they get older, they'll figure it out. But I know the reason I ask, like Sesame Street did that for years and years and years, where they would bring in one celebrity, introduce them into the show, and then, you know, kids would love it.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be amazing to have any of the Astros on. Altuve would be a dream come true. But you'd asked earlier, like my dream location. If I could shoot Minute Maid Park, man, that'd be the coolest thing ever.
Probably make that happen.
Maybe, yeah. I definitely the Rangers Stadium.
Oh yeah, easy.
Yeah,
Rangers or Cowboy Stadium, we could do that.
Yeah.
That's not the same, right? You don't want to be an Astros fan shooting shit in Ranger Stadium. You might get beat up by Astros fans when you go back.
Yeah, and if you're just shooting on GoPros, you can sneak a camera in any stadium. We did it at Cowboy Stadium.
Yeah, prison wallet.
Yeah, do you know what we did? This is a true story. Because I've snuck cameras in like to every illegal shoot you could possibly do. We buried it in baby formula and put it in a Ziploc bag, buried it in baby formula, packed the entire bag as if we had a child. And then our ad lady who works with us, Araceli, she's Mexican. So we said she was our nanny, dead serious, and that's how we snuck all the camera gear into Cowboy Stadium.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I have baby formula and stuff. I could make that happen.
Oh, dude, you have tons of it. And they never check. Just put it at the bottom, put it in a Ziploc bag, and then go to the bathroom and dump it out.
I mean, what are they? Yeah, no one's going to check that. What are they going to do? Like, hey, I need to see inside of that baby formula.
Yeah, let me see that baby. Let me see that baby of yours.
We got a lot of families smuggling drugs into the fucking state. I don't know what would they even think?
We didn't even have a baby with us, and the security asked. They were like, "Sir," they were like, "Where's your baby?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh."
Oh no, the fucking baby.
I go. Oh, they went ahead. They're already in the suite. It's totally fine. I just, my wife was getting ready, so. We sent him with another nanny or whatever, and I was like, "There's like 20 of us. It's crazy. I apologize." And they're like, "No, having kids is crazy." And I was like, "You bet it is. It's really crazy." But yeah, we could get you into one of those things for sure. Would you want to go on the field, like?
Yeah, that would be. I mean, like if I got to go to Minute Maid Park or Ranger Stadium and show kids like, "Hey, this is first base, second base, third base, home," and just a brief overview of the sport. I mean, that'd be, not that kids don't know, but to see it, have somebody that's, on their level talking to them and showing them like a professional sports stadium, I think that'd be the coolest.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And then other businesses too, if you want. You could come out to Austin, Texas. We know a bunch of people out here as well.
I try to come there pretty frequently. My brother is I mentioned shooting a dentist. My brother's a pediatric dentist in Georgetown.
Oh, is he really?
Yep.
Man, I bet he crushes.
He does pretty well.
He's got a very large collection of teeth.
Does he? I wanted to keep all my baby teeth. That's something I'm still pissed at my parents at today, that I didn't get to keep those guys,
That's not my thing, but to each their own. Well,
I wanted to string them out, wear them as a necklace, and, just let everybody know that I grew up.
It's like puka shells in your own teeth.
Uh-huh. That's a boss move.
That's really late 90s of you.
When you're wearing your own teeth out, that's a boss. If you're wearing other people's teeth out, that's great. I'd like to go back through some dead bodies and start combing like celebrities' teeth.
I used to steal teeth because I was trying to capture the tooth fairy. I didn't believe it existed. So I would, whatever tooth I could find, shark teeth at the beach or animal teeth out in the woods or whatever, people. Whatever I could get my hands on, I would put them under my pillow, right? They were always there in the morning. So
I don't know if that's funny or that's like the saddest story I've ever heard.
A mixture of both.
It was an introduction to reality, I guess.
Yeah.
Like if you're a child out there, take one of your teeth out, put it under your pillow, and don't tell your parents, and see if money shows up. That's a good experiment with a control. Then you realize that your parents are full of shit.
If there's any kids that are listening to this show, they've already got horrific parents anyway. So
yeah, that's true.
It doesn't really matter. What about the beach? Let me ask you that. Like that would be fun. You ever go down to Galveston and do the beach stuff?
We actually, so like I try to shoot everything in Texas, but we took a family vacation over to Destin, Florida back in June, and we put an episode out on that. And that was really cool because we did a professional sandcastle company came out and taught us how to build sandcastles.
Oh, really?
That's cool.
That's awesome.
I
man.
actually love those. I watch those. I'm not a huge fan of the Dude Perfect stuff. I don't really care about trick shots.
Really?
Or Rube Goldberg stuff doesn't really. It's just too much. I don't care about all that bullshit.
I do love Dude Perfect.
And I
will
know,
say that.
I know what's behind it. I mean, it's cool that they eventually make the shot, but I know that there were like 6,000 takes before that. So that's like, all right, cool. You had the perseverance to last that long, I guess, and keep doing it. That's fine. But I don't really care to watch all that shit. Because I know how the sausage is made. But
I like it because they show you that they miss.
oh yeah, I'm not that's and that's fine. I'm not saying they're trying to fake it. I'm just saying I know what the process is like because I've done productions like that and I just don't care about that. But building stuff like that is out of the ordinary. There's actually, I don't remember what the YouTube channel is called, but somebody does that quite a bit on YouTube. Like that's their thing. And I think there was a TV show for a while.
Yeah,
on,
I know.
Was
I
it
know
on
you're
the
talking
Travel
about.
Channel or Bravo maybe
Yeah.
or some shit like that where that's what they did. They showed up to events at beach areas or sometimes not even at the beach. They brought their own sand and built like these crazy ass sand castles with appliances and luges and fucking different colored sand and all kinds of crazy shit. I like that.
Same.
That's dope because I can get high as fuck and watch it build it.
Yeah. You could do shit. Jumping out of planes, everything if you wanted to. Like the good thing about what you do and what you're trying to do is it's kind of endless.
Yeah, get Jared's kids and go to the wind tunnel.
Yeah.
Why not?
We're doing monster trucks with our kids on
Sunday.
on
Yeah.
Sunday.
Yeah, we got to do something with monster trucks soon.
Well, let me know. I don't know when they're coming to Houston, but Tommy Passamede, Street Bike Tommy from Nitro Circus, is getting us all pit passes for this Sunday.
Sunday, yeah.
We're gonna go there and probably try to steal one of the trucks. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, for an hour and a half before, I told my kid he could get in the truck, and he goes, "Can I drive it?" And I said, "No, absolutely not. You can't,
I don't know
I don't know
100% that the answer is no, though. To be honest, I don't know. It's it's the action sports world, and we have Street Bike Tommy with us, so anything could happen.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So who knows? But yeah, probably safe to say no, and then maybe if it happens, pleasant surprise.
Pleasant surprise. How many tickets do we have? Do we have endless tickets?
I don't know. I have to talk to Tommy about that. Why you need to?
No, I mean
bring some more kids.
Cowboy Jack come out, dude.
I can see, yeah.
And do the monster truck show. You can touch the monster trucks, get inside of it. Yeah, text Tommy, see if we have extra tickets. It's on Sunday. I don't know what you're doing Sunday, but you know.
I have to ask the boss lady. I don't know either.
Yeah, that's right. You guys have a 10-month-old.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you can't bring a fucking 10-month.
Yeah, I'd be a little intense for a 10-month-old at the old monster trucks. Kid starts.
My son would shit a chicken.
Woody? That's a phrase that I've never heard before.
You never heard shit a chicken? It's
No, I like it and I'm going to steal it.
Best thing for Cowboy Jack to say, but I said it.
Yeah. No, it's fine. It's
Did
fine.
you see? I hate Gary Vee so much because it's just fucking empty. Everything he says is shout. Like even the introduction into this little ranty when I was talking about how his middle school teacher used to say not to swear.
Yeah.
That's a loud noise. Ooh. My middle school teacher used to say not to swear. She was also the person that told me I would never amount to anything. Like, dude, your parents are rich. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
But what he did go on to say was, I care more about my kids doing the right thing, being good people, than I care about them swearing.
Yeah.
Honestly, like that's like if a teacher calls me and says my kid was swearing in class, we're like, so what?
Yeah.
Fucking that's what you're offended about? Why don't we teach these kids how to take care of people in poverty? Right? And how to be good human beings before we tell them what words to say and not to say. Get the fuck out of here.
And look, Blippi's perfect proof. Like you can make a diarrhea video where you can shit inside of another man's asshole, and then you're fine. You can still be a child's star.
I think if it weren't impressive what he did, people would hate him a lot more.
I laughed my ass
Like
off.
if he had just shit his own pants or something like that, that
Yeah.
would not have been. People
Nope.
would have been like, "Wow, that's weird." But the fact that he arced it,
Yeah.
like, I mean, all right, cool,
It was
man.
really impressive.
Yeah.
Did you see the Blippy video for the Harlem Shake?
I never saw the actual thing. I'm not that upset about it.
Yeah.
I'll text you after the show.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. It's something you should see because it's impressive.
I think he spent more money than I'll make in a lifetime on trying to get that thing off of the internet.
That's the most impressive thing about it, to be honest with you. Like, dude, it is wiped everywhere. I had to go to the ends of the earth to find it. And I think it came in through a listener who was just like, hey, I got that video. No matter what we do here on this show, we have at least 1 to 2 listeners that can find it, no matter what it is. Swear to God. They can solve any problem, anything else. I mean, even with you, dude, and Drinkin Bros dads, like, we got tagged by 1 million people, and they're like, dude, get Cowboy Jack on the show. Let's blow up his channel and see what happens.
And we've had shows like this before promoted on here. Jamie Kaler and Rocco and I can't remember the other guy's name, but they did Dads in Parks.
Yep.
And it's just like conversations, 2 dads sitting on a park bench talking while their kids play. And then Bert Koontz had the Bison fucking children's book and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it's something that everybody's always. It's funny. I think Tim Kennedy mentioned it when we were doing that show last week about how isn't it weird that there's just no instruction manual to make a human being.
Yeah.
Like to turn a fucking glob of bullshit cells into a functioning human being. There's no fucking manual for that. She's kind of got to figure it out.
I think China's got one.
Yeah, but they're doing AI. So those may not even be real kids.
Who knows?
It's hard to say. But I feel like parents are generally always trying to figure out. And you know the basics.
Mm-hmm.
Don't lie, cheat, steal. Don't be an asshole to people. But how do you teach your kid? How did parents who became parents in the early 2000s teach their kids about how to behave on social media?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, how the fuck do you even approach that subject?
Yeah.
Because it didn't exist before.
Yeah, it's tough to navigate. What was your wife like when you said, hey, I want to do this character, and I think it would be fun?
I mean, we were kind of COVID crazy at the time. It was, back when I was just getting used to working at home and being stuck with her all the time. I don't mean that in a bad way.
Yeah, you should probably think about the phrasing of that statement for the next time somebody asks you that question.
Pre-COVID, I spent like 60 to 70% of the time on the road and in the air. So being COVID home was a big change for us. And so, being on Zoom calls and Teams meetings and stuff, we had to sit my son in front of the TV more. And so that's when the issue of how bad everything out there really stunk for kids came up. And I said, let's just go do this. She didn't fight me on it a bit. She's like, all right, I mean, you're goofy. Let's do it. I'll film you. And then she's the cameraman woman still. And every time we shoot, I mean, I need to put a blooper reel out sometime because it's solid gold. I mean, I'm spelling out words and I'll misspell them. A couple days ago, I was filming at a play place. I stood up too quick and hit my head right here, and I had to sit down and watch the stars for about 5 minutes. And but no, she's cool with it, and she's my biggest supporter, man. She finds all of our locations. She does all the editing. She's a machine.
How did you develop the character? What made you want to be a cowboy?
Just kind of, I was trying to think of what we could do. Like, I wanted it to be exciting and a character, not just myself. And I wanted to have like a uniform. But I didn't want it to be anything like Blippi. I didn't want to have like a super colorful hat or like weird glasses, or I didn't want it to be Looney Tunes to keep kids' attention. And I was like, man, every kid loves cowboys. Like, I don't care who you are or where you live. Kids like cowboys. It's just natural. It's cool. And here I am in Texas. I already had the boots. All I got was this portable sweat hut vest, and I was good to go.
That's
the
awesome.
Vest is incredibly hot, man. If I could redo anything, it would be the vest. This thing is like a heat stroke waiting to happen.
It all seems good when you're writing it, and then when you actually have to put it on and go out into the world wearing it,
like Kane at fucking Halloween last year.
Oh yeah, he was the giraffe from Toys R Us.
Yeah, we've got it here. It's like my stepkid. One of the we happened upon one of the, when Toys R Us was going out of business, one of the full size Jerry the giraffe costumes. And he's like, yeah, let's wear it for Halloween this year. I'm like, all right, it weighs 80 pounds, and we're going to Texas. And good luck.
It was hot as hell.
So this year, I think he's going minimalist. Like just like Jem from The Office with the name tape or the name tag.
Have him go as Steve Jobs. That's just a pair of jeans.
I don't know if anybody would get that.
I think they would.
By the way, I ordered all of our robes and wigs and gavels.
Oh, for the show.
Wednesday.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Looking forward to that.
By the way, I think maybe you should Brittany recommended everybody bring their own gavel, whatever they want to use as a gavel.
Sure.
I think that might be a fun little treat.
Yeah. I'm down.
Yeah.
I'm down for sure.
See what Jared brings.
Speaking of that heat, dude, and shooting and shit, fuck, man. When we were doing the St. James movies, I wrote in like he's wearing a tweed coat and a turtleneck and all this other stuff. And we ended up shooting that in the middle of July in downtown Los Angeles. That's the hottest I've ever been in my entire life. And as the shoot went on, because the coat had to be visible in all the shots, I initially cut the sleeves off the turtleneck. And then I cut the
You make a
bottom
dicky
part
out
off.
of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
By the end of that shoot, I was covered in ice in the back of that chair, and it was a dicky from like Randy Quaid's character.
It's the only way to do it.
In Christmas
Yeah.
Vacation,
Yeah.
and it was the word. I was like, dude, I'll never write
Otherwise, you're fucked. And that's the problem.
something like that for heat again.
That's the problem with period stuff in the first place.
Yeah.
Like that actually, and it costs so much fucking money to outfit that shit.
Oh, yeah.
People don't think about that. The locations are a problem too, because you have to move any modern looking shit out of the way.
Yeah.
Like rent old cars and stage them on the street
Yeah.
and shit. It fucking sucks, dude.
War movies are the worst, by the way, because you've got to rent all of that gear, and it comes from one wardrobe house. It was Warner Brothers,
Yeah.
and they have all of it from like all eras. So you can get like Vietnam, World War II, World War I.
We're
Nazi
fortunate.
costumes.
Yeah. We're fortunate to have for modern stuff all the special operations units in the U.S. we have deals with where we can use their stuff if we want to shoot. But for if you're shooting out of Hollywood, I mean,
Good luck.
SEAL Team just built their own fob.
Yeah.
Like no shit.
Yeah.
I've been there. It's just north of Hollywood. They built their entire. It's a whole fob they just built.
Yeah. 'Cause
And I
that's
walked into it. I'm
easier.
like, oh, what the fuck? They're like, yeah, we own all this.
Yeah, well, it's easier. That's why.
Well, especially if you're going to go for they just finished filming season 5, episode 2 this week. I think AJ told me, so they're like already into it. By the time I think they finished like the first. Well, no, they moved to Paramount now, so they're doing hour-long episodes.
Oh, yes,
so
yes,
they're
yes,
probably
yes.
only going to do like 13 this year instead of 20 something.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. It's
Yeah.
pain in the ass. So you got to think about that when you're starting to develop new characters. Probably don't develop the ones that have to wear 8 layers of shit.
Oh, yeah.
Out in the middle, or some giant fucking or a rhino horn or something like that. Yeah.
Well, you're locked into it now because that's what kids want to see. So
But
like,
cowboy shit is made to sweat in. It's leather and flannel, man.
It's
made to sweat in.
but it's still hot, man. And the character choice you've made, you're gonna have to live with the rest of your life because you can't change outfits. Everybody wants to see Cowboy Jack in the outfit now,
Yeah.
so you're gonna have to live with that.
Yeah, that's your whole life.
I was actually going to pitch Carl the Desert Eskimo. Is that off the table?
What is he, like wrapped in whale blubber or some shit?
Yeah, but living in West Texas.
It's all fur everywhere he goes.
Look, those people have a lot in common because
Moccasins.
it's like oil and gas industry. Both of those places are the 2 main industries, right?
Yeah.
Or the main industry, rather.
Yeah.
In Alaska and Texas. You'd think they'd have a lot more in common. Not the weather, I guess.
Obviously. Cowboy Jack, if this got big enough and somebody like PBS or Nickelodeon wanted to pick you off, or Netflix, would you do it?
Absolutely, in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still shocked at the fact that the kids are actually watching this. I mean, it's all happening fast and kind of crazy, but I mean, that'd be a dream come true. That would be validation that what we're doing is actually having a positive impact.
Yeah, man, I think it'd be awesome. And I'll tell you this, man, having, done all those pitch meetings and all that other stuff, because surprisingly, nobody really knows this, but I've written animated stuff, movies, TV shows, all of it. They're always looking for great children's characters that are developed. There just isn't a lot of them. So the more and more you can hone in this character, for real, man, somebody will eventually call if this gets big enough. If all of our listeners subscribe to Cowboy Jack on YouTube and you get a big enough following, dude, it would be awesome.
Yeah, especially a normal guy with a 9-to-5 job 10 years in with kids of his own.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of people in children's entertainment have shady histories.
Yep.
So if you get a person that you're not gonna have to worry about that stuff, I feel like that's an added bonus.
Oh yeah, man. For real.
Just don't start talking about Jell-O or wearing sweaters or shitting on yourself, and I think you'll be fine.
Yeah, you'll be all right.
No No comment on that? No comment on
no, and I get it. You shouldn't comment on that.
I was taking it all in.
As well, you should. Look, subscribe to Cowboy Jack's channel on YouTube. If you have kids, which 90% of our listeners do, it is not only great content, well shot and well thought out, but it's a great character. It's extremely educational. Yeah. I let my kids watch it 2 days ago. They'd gone through all your videos, and they were super amped that you were on the show today. They're not going to believe it, so I'm going to have to go back and re-show them this when this airs.
Parts of it,
yeah. But it's going to be on mute, obviously. Yeah.
But it's even if you don't have kids, share it with your friends and family who do, because I guarantee you this: if I was a parent right now of a young child, I would be looking for some kind of day-to-day content, because they're going to be watching it that isn't trying to fucking brainwash my kids into some stupid bullshit.
Exactly.
Frankly, just talk about being a good person all the time. You don't have to introduce all these sophisticated ideas to fucking children.
Yeah, but you're doing science experiments. I mean, you name it, you're doing it. I think it's awesome. You've been a listener for a long time now. Obviously, this is the point in the show we get to the Drinkin Bro of the week, which is someone who has inspired you or helped you become the person you are today. I have a feeling I know who you're going to give this to. Who would you like to give the Drinkin Bro of the week to?
Blippy.
Who do you think I'm going to give it to?
Your wife. And if you don't, man, after doing all that editing, you're a terrible human.
No, I'd have to give it to my wife. I mean, she's the reason all this is going on, and that it's gotten where it has.
Yeah. Look, Jessie edits as well. She does sound and video editing, and hates it. It's miserable. It's time consuming, and it's such a thankless job. Because all anybody cares about is what the product is that they're watching. They don't think about the 90 hours behind the scenes that go into all of this stuff. Fortunately, we have other people to do that now. But when we didn't, man, there was some contentious moments.
Yeah, I mean, she puts up with me. I mean, I'm basically 60 to 90 minutes in front of the camera once or twice a week. On the weekends. She's the one, once we get the kids down every night, she's grabbing the computer and working her butt off trying to put it all together. And, I don't make it easier on them. I mess up all the time. There's a lot to edit out. So.
Awesome, man.
Just so you can prepare for this, by the way, go ahead and not to add any to her workload, but have your wife start keeping what it's called an engineering journal, basically in tech. And it is every time you face an issue, whether it's a certain type of sound in an environment or your voice specifically or some sound effect you're using, and she figures out a workaround or a way to deal with it, write that shit down, because at some point it's going to get too big for you guys and you're going to have to hire help. And she personally will have to teach that person how to do all that shit, because that's what we had to do here.
Yeah.
Because she was doing all of our audio for years.
Yes, for years and years.
And then she had to every new person that came on that did audio had to go through the school of Jesse.
Yeah.
So that transition isn't so difficult for you. Go ahead and have her start writing that shit down and preparing that lesson plan, because it'll make your life a lot easier. I promise you.
And then once your wife isn't doing the editing, she'll be so much happier at home. Yeah. I can promise you that.
She'll definitely appreciate the show more.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine having to put up with me all day, and then once you get the kids to bed, you're having to sit there and stare at me on the screen. Let
me see your proposition and raise you one. Do that, but instead of you, it's Ross. Just all day. From sun up to sundown and then some. So it's like, all right.
You're welcome.
All right.
Yeah, you're welcome.
That's why you have.
You're welcome. Cowboy Jack, tell everybody where they can find you. Obviously, you have your YouTube channel, Cowboy Jack, which everyone's.
I can't believe that name was available, too.
Me neither.
It's great that you got that name, because that's a great name.
Got lucky on that one. No, I mean, we have, of course, if you search Cowboy Jack on YouTube, I'm the big dumb animal that pops up in the cowboy hat right up top. We have really cool thumbnails. And then also on Facebook, it's just Cowboy Jack Show. On TikTok, Cowboy Jack Show again, all those things. And we have a website with all of our, with a few things that are unique on it. It's just cowboyjackshow.com.
Awesome. Look, congratulations. I hope this explodes for you. I love hearing stories like this, because it's so hard to do, that you just when you put the time and effort into something like this, you just hope it explodes, because I know the hours that are behind this, man, and it sucks, and you're doing it for the right reasons. And again, you're in Drinkin Bros dads groups is where we found you, and everybody tagged us. in there. And we love stories like these, and hopefully, your channel takes off to the next level, and you're the next Blippi or whoever the guy is ahead of you on television. Thank you for your time today. We'll let you get back to your family and shooting videos. For D'Anthony Holloway, Cowboy Jack, I'm Ross Patterson. This is the Drinkin Bros podcast. Good night, everyone.